What's up, Lincoln Charter? This is Mr. Wade. We are back with Mr. Wade's Math Facts. It is Friday, last day of the week. We have two word problems that we have to go over for today. One of them is the one I gave you yesterday about Braylon, and Gavin playing football against Freddie and Cole. We have to do that one. Then we have a new math problem. Like I said, I'm gonna walk you through both of them, and hopefully it helps you with some of the work that you've been given. I know you've had word problems already, and some of you struggled a little bit with those word problems. So hopefully, the multiplication side, this helps it make sense a little bit more. On Monday, we will start off with simple division word problems, and then just like we did this week, we'll gradually move into a little bit more complicated division word problems. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started on yesterday's problem, which was Braden and Gavin were playing touch football against Cole and Freddie. Braden and Gavin scored 7 touchdowns, Freddie and Cole 9 touchdowns. Each touchdown was worth 7 points. How many more points did Cole and Freddie have than Braylon and Gavin? That was the word problem. I'm going to read it again. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. I don't know, maybe some of y'all might not have caught it the first time I read it, but I'm going to read it again a little bit slower, and then I'm going to take you through the steps to figure out how to solve the problem. Braylon and Gavin were playing touch football against Cole and Freddie. Braylon and Gavin scored 7 touchdowns. Braylon and Gavin scored 7 touchdowns. Cole and Freddie scored 9 touchdowns. Cole and Freddie scored 9 touchdowns. Each touchdown was worth 7 points. Each touchdown was worth 7 points. How many more points did Cole and Freddie have than Braylon and Gavin? That was our word problem. Now, I wrote it down. I'm going to take you through the steps, point out some facts that we already know, and then we're going to solve the problem. Here we go. As you see, I have it all written on my notebook up here. We started with facts that we did know. We knew each touchdown was worth 7 points. That's what we know. Each touchdown was worth 7 points. We knew Braylon and Gavin scored 7 touchdowns. So I have my 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We knew Cole and Freddie scored 9 touchdowns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, if you're really fluent with your 7 times tables, you can just go ahead and you see the problem down here. 7 times 7 equals 49. But if you're not, this is the way I figured it out. I put the number of touchdowns, and then I used my skip count. You can actually start with your 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 6 is 42. And 7 times 7 is 49. So if they scored 7 touchdowns and each touchdown was worth 7 points, they ended with 49 points. That's what it was for Braylon and Gavin. Now for Cole and Freddie, they scored 9 touchdowns. So we did the same thing. If you're really fluent with math and you understand what was going on, you took 7 times 9 equaled 63. For those of us that wasn't as fluent as some of you, we did the same thing. We wrote down our 9, and then we went through our 7 times table. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 8 is 56. 7 times 9 is 63. So you see, we ended with 63. So what we had to do was we needed to know how many more points did they score. So we had to take Cole and Freddie's 63 points minus Braylon and Gavin's 49 points. And when we subtracted, that gave us an answer of 14 because 9 minus 3, which we can't do, so we had to borrow from the 6. We crossed out the 6, made it a 5. We made the 3 a 13. So 13 minus 9 equals 4, and 5 minus 4 equals 1, which gave us 14 points more was scored. And hopefully I didn't go too fast for most of y'all, but you can go back and you can watch the video again and you can see exactly how we figured it out. It was a few steps you had to take, but at the end, 14 more points were scored. Now, today's word problem we're going to go over has to do with the Meat King market. The Meat King market. And they're selling ground beef. So we have to figure out some numbers in here. We're going to use a little bit of multiplication. We also are going to use a little bit of addition and some subtraction. As you see, these word problems have multiple steps. As I promised on Monday throughout the week, we would gradually get a little bit harder. And here we are at Friday. The problems are a little bit harder, but again, Mr. Way, I'm here to help. So let's jump right into the Meat Market King. On Thursday, the Meat Market King sold 210 pounds of ground beef. Let me say that again. On Thursday, the Meat Market King sold 210 pounds of ground beef. On Friday, they sold twice as much. So on Friday, they sold twice as much ground beef as they did on Thursday. On Saturday, they only sold 130 pounds. On Saturday, they only sold 130 pounds. How much more meat did they sell on Friday than Saturday? Now I'm going to read that again to you, then I'm going to show you how we solved it. On Thursday, the Meat King market sold 210 pounds of ground beef. On Friday, they sold twice as much. On Saturday, they only sold 130 pounds. How much more meat did they sell on Friday than Thursday? Well, again, my handy dandy notebook, we had to write down the facts that we know. On Thursday, we know they sold 210 pounds. We know that. On Friday, they sold twice as much. So we have to figure out what twice as much is. So there's two ways we can figure out the twice as much. Since it's a multiplication problem, I'm going to give you the multiplication problem first. They sold 210 pounds on Thursday. So that's 210 pounds. On Friday, they sold twice as much. So it's 210 pounds times 2, which is 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4, which gives us 420 pounds sold on Friday. Or you could have just did Thursday, they sold 210 pounds. On Friday, they sold twice as much, so you add another 210 pounds. 210 pounds plus 210 pounds equals 420. So either one or either way that you got is correct because you came out with 420 pounds. Now, what we do know is on Saturday, they only sold 130 pounds. What we're trying to figure out is how much more meat was sold on Friday than Saturday. So we're taking Friday's 420 pounds minus Saturday's 130 pounds, and we came out with an answer of 290 pounds more was sold on Friday. So let's see how we got it. We got 420 minus 130, 0 minus 0 is 0. Then we have 3 minus 2, which we can't do because the 3 is larger, so we have to borrow from the 4. So we cross out the 4, making it a 3, and giving that 1 to the 2, making it a 12. So now it gives us 12 minus 3 equals 9, and then 3 minus 1 equals 2, which gives us 290 pounds more meat sold on Friday. And that's how we solved that problem. And I'm hoping that helps with your upcoming word problems that you're going to have with multiplication and division. And like I said, Monday we'll be starting on division, and we'll do one step division first, starting early Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday we'll gradually work our way into multiple step word problems. Then by Friday they'll get a little bit tougher. But I think doing it the way we've been going, it helps you pretty much, and it makes it a little bit easier to figure out. So we're going to continue on with what we've been doing. And this is Mr. Way. Hope everybody stays safe, corona free. Have a great weekend, and I will see y'all on Monday.